let's talk a little bit about let's fast forward a little bit. So you do CYA. How long were you there at Fred's?
About 3.5, close to 4 years.
Okay, 4 years. So what's next when you get out? You said you were out for, was it 6 months, and then you went up to the Bay, and is that when everything happened up there?
Yeah, I get out, and then when I get out, this one I'm kind of lost because now before I went in, all the Mexican homies was from the hood. The ones that turned WeMons, they were from Waterfront.
Yeah.
So now I do them years and come home. This is when the war begins with us. You know what I mean? And I'm outside one day. This is the night I get shot. My homie K-Dog. We used to hang with our rival enemy homegirls back in the day. Just on some exciting shit. And we had a hotel party. It was some girls from Harvey City Crip, and it was Waterfront and a couple of homies from Eastside Pank. And we had a Motel 6 on Sepulveda, off of like Vermont or right off the freeway. So we partying all night. Night going good. Everybody getting drunk. And my homie K-Dog trip out. He break the bottle on the TV. Start jumping on the bed, start punching on one of the homies. So now the whole night has changed now. We got to get out the room, the police on the way. So we all go to the project. And then when we get to the project, the homie K-Dog trying to run the homies over in a stolen car. No, he don't take the homie car, trying to run us over on the grass. It was just a wild night. So I ended up running into this Mexican dude named, no, but I don't want to say his name like that, but he used to be from the hood, and he was still from the hood at the time. He was like, "What you doing, Mobile?" I like, "Man, the homie just got us kicked out the room. We was just going up, with the Harvard City girls." Woo woo. He was like, "Oh, okay." He was like, "Hey, I'm about to run over here and get some weed. You want to ride with me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I was like, fuck it." I was like, "Everybody goes, like, fuck it." So I jump in the car with him, not thinking nothing of it. And then there's a street in Wilmington called Op Street. This is a street down there everybody gets shot on. You know what I mean? This street, it's really called OPP. It's called Op Street.
It's called Op Street. Damn.
You Google that in Wilmington, that's where everybody gets shot on Op Street. It goes all the way straight up and down in north and south. So he pulls up to the little store behind on Op Street. Some apartments behind the liquor store, and he jumps out the car, but the car is still running. No, he don't. He jumps out the car, so I'll be right back. When he comes right back, he's taking so long, I kind of get out the car and kind of open up the little apartment doors that from the bottom. I'll take you up some stairs. And then when I opened the door, there was an essay right there. He just got me. Pop, 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 pop. And he stood over me. He was just popping. Pop, 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 pop.
Damn.
And then next thing you know, I'm laying on the floor, but this is the crazy part. He comes down the stairs. He sees me all messed up. He starts the car, gets me off the floor, and said, he told me where to go. He said, "Man, we're supposed to stay around the corner, try this out." It seemed like he was kind of sad that he did that. I don't know if it was a lineup or not, but you know what I mean? He felt kind of bad. You know what I mean? I could see it in his eyes that he said, "I'm down there for getting ready to die right here."
Wow.
So he starts the car and puts me in it though. And then I make it to the homie house. And then when I knock on the door and his mom answered, I just fell in the door. And next thing I just tell my mom what happened. And then I was gasping for air. Next thing you know, the ambulance came kind of quick. I remember being in the ambulance, and then they took me to the UCLA Medical in Carson. And then I sat in there for like 2 months down there. But as soon as I got out the hospital, I was at home. I got out the hospital. I was probably stayed home 2 days. I got a shit bag. I got tubes all in my little shit and everything. I go back to the hood, and I jump right on the bike, and I go try to find some motherfuckers. I didn't get nobody that night, but I was popping on motherfuckers, though, and have everybody running this shit, the motherfuckers I'm around. And then I was telling the homies, like, this shit kind of crazy, man. I said, these niggas are starting to turn. Something ain't right. And as a month or two went by, everybody noticed that the Hispanics from Waterfront had to turn west to Awima. There was none of them standing but the homegirls. We got Mexican homegirls, but all the dudes had turned. So when I was going through that, so one day when the police came to my house, they said they found out I had got jumped, and that they had jumped me to Weemoss in the project, and the Cirillo, the same officer back in the day, Came to my mom's house. They had a good rapport with each other. He was like, I heard he got jumped. Where's he at? I'm like, I'm upstairs. But I did get jumped. But I was like, I've been here all day. I didn't tell my mom or nothing. But I did get caught slipping. But they didn't shoot at me, and then they just jumped me. And I still had my tubes in my stomach. So after a while, shit was going on. My mom was like, man, I want you to go somewhere else. And then my brother, I got two brothers, and their side is in Vallejo. But I was raised with all of them since a kid. You know what I mean? Like they was my blood relatives. So mom's called my grandma El May, my grandma Lovey. And it's like, hey, we about to send Sean out to the Vallejo. And then that's when I went out to Vallejo. I was out there for about a month trying to heal up and get back right. And then money got funny, man. I went out there and caught a motherfucking robbery in Cocoa County. That's like where Richmond, California is and all that. Antioch and Concord and all that up north. Okay. I caught a robbery in A County. Then I ended up going to Martinez County Jail, and that's like in the Bay. Ended up sitting in there for like 3-4 months. And then I took a plea out for 6 years. And then that's the first time I went to the pen. And I experienced San Quentin. And then I was just like, damn, I'm really in prison. This shit look like the motherfucking movie.
Damn. All right, so let's talk about your time in San Quentin. What was your first day like, and just what were you mentally going through?
San Quentin was, like, yeah, you come with like you when you leave the Bay, like the Richmond County Jail and all that stuff. Martinez, I think we left in a van. We was in the van, little paper suit. We get to San Quentin. When you get there, it looks just like the movies you see on Fox TV or on the news when they show it, just like that, like a castle or something. And I'm walking in, but to see the thing, I knew I was already in the county with a gang of Bay Area dudes from Pittsburgh to Bay. So I'm knowing when I get to San Quentin, it ain't really gonna be no Crip and Blood stuff because I'm around a gang of Bay Area dudes. You know what I mean? So my vibe was like, when on the way there, I was like, do I bang or do I just chill? Because everybody already telling me it's just a gang of Bay Area up there. So we get there or whatever. They put you in these cages, these little dog cages that's kind of tall, make you strip, take off your clothes, open up your cheeks, squat and cough. I'm like, damn, this shit real. And then they hand you a sack lunch. They give you they give you an orange jumpsuit with a thin, cheap jean jacket, you know what I mean? Because it'd be cold up there. It's October, so it'd be cold up there. And then you sit in the little tanks for a couple hours till they figure out they send you to West Block. And then when you walk to West Block, you probably walking like 30, 40 inmates. Everybody in orange with like some Japanese shoes on. And they open up this big old door. This door is huge. No. Okay, when you walk in before, on the way to West Block, you walk past Death Row. There's East Block and there's North Block. And we ran it. I think one of the big homies from back in the day, I didn't know him personally, but I know of him. I know who he is. And then they say, dead man walking. So this is on the way to West Block, leaving the receiving unit. There was like dead man walking, and it was the homie Ace Capone from B&G. And then so we pulled over to the side, and it makes you kind of turn around a little bit. And I heard a Norteño dude tell him what's up in Swahili. And then I was like, hey, because he said, what's up, Ace? I said, that Ace Capone from B&G? He was like, yeah. He was like, that's the homie right there. I was like, okay, for sure. Then you keep walking. So as you look where the unit door says East Block and it says Condemned Road. So you can see, like, damn, that's Death Row inmates. Like, I'm a fresh 18. When you get to West Block, there's some big ass doors. And then they open it. It's loud. As soon as they open these hard metal doors, that's probably like 50 feet in the sky. It's loud. Everybody's screaming, yelling. It's 5 tiers. The police don't care. They talking shit. So when they gave me my cell, go to the little podium, there was like 528B back bar. So I'm like, what does that mean? They was like, you on the 5th tier, cell 28, in the middle, you towards the end, back behind the back bar. So as you walking up these stairs, by the time I got to the 3rd floor, like the tier, because there's nothing you can look over. It's like someone could just kill you, like the movies. Like they could really just throw you over and it's over. You know what I mean? So I get to the third tier and I look down. I start getting lightheaded. I'm like, God damn. So I go up one more tier to fourth. I'm like, where the fifth tier? Knowing damn well the fifth is the last one, right? I get to the fifth tier. As soon as I bang the quarter, there's 3-4 homosexuals right there with titties, with weird hair. I get to the fifth tier. As soon as I bang the quarter, there's 3-4 homosexuals right there with titties, with weird hair. That could be in the bay, and they all over the place. You know what I mean? What is that called?
A transgender.
Yeah, they're transgender. They're in there deep. They're all over the place, and you just hear a lot of people saying, "Blood, what's up, blood? What's up, man? What's up, folks?" So the vibe is kind of different, but I'm not in the cell yet. I'm standing in front of my cell. People smoking cigarettes, like, "Hey, can you pass this to this cell? Can you pass?" I'm doing, because that's the time. You got, like, the police, before they come lock you up, they let you run the tier a little bit, so you better get that in, because in San Quentin, you sitting in that cell all day and night. So besides coming out for dinner, so I finally get in the cell, and I'm in the cell with a dude from Lakeview named Rob. He hit me. I was like, I'm from LA, and I was talking about the PlRU. He was like, okay, my name's Rob. I'm from Frisco, Lakeview Project, Lakeview Apartments or whatever, 200 block. I sit down on the top bunk. The top bunk is so small. Look, the cell is so small. You could put, like, if I lay on the bunk, I could send my knee on the other side and it'll still be bending. That's how small. We can't get up at the same time. Like, if I need to get up and use the bathroom, he has to be sitting on the bunk. That's how small the cells are in San Quentin. You know what I mean? So I'm just sitting in there, sitting on the top bunk, like, this is why I like this is how 6 years ago look. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that to myself. So we sat on West Block for like 4 or 5 days. Then they moved me to another unit, another block, and I went to Alpine. And then I sat on Alpine for like 30 days. And then that's where you kind of figure out what prison you going to while you waiting, because you got to see the counselors. After I was there like 30 days on Alpine, I started meeting hella like people from Frisco, Oakland. I was really locking in with like real 415, Kumi, Jama, all the little top dogs that's coming out of Northern Cali. I started locking in with them. And then I finally got to see my counselor, and I was telling them I was trying to go down south to be close to home, and they wasn't doing that right then. So when I finally said I had level 2 points. Level 2, I had like 24 points when I first went to the pen. When I paroled, I had 75 level 4. So that's how much I was going crazy in the pen. But they sent me to Jamestown, 1 to the 2 yard. So I went to the 2 yard for like 3 days. Then I had a fight down there. I can't remember who the fight was, but I had a fight in the dorm, and they sent me to the 3 yard right away. As soon as I had that fight, that's 6 points. So that made me level 3. So once I went to the hole for like a little day or two, they kicked me out to the Tuolumne yard. I heard now, but that's like PC yards, but back then it was just regular. But it was a gang of homies from Sacramento there when I first got there. It was like dude named G Bunny from the Heights. My road dog was named DJB. He's an older homie from Meadowview. He rest in peace now. And my homie B-Boy from 135 out of Compton. It wasn't too many LA homies. There was a lot of up north homies. So I'm getting to meet homies from Stockton, Modesto, and all that. But when I got there, I came on a YA mentality, because I know everybody here, Crips, Bloods, and everything now. So they was like, by this time, I ain't going by Mobile no more. I'm going by Nutty Boy. You know what I mean? And cause my big homie is Boy One. Remember I told you when I first came to the hood, I pulled up to my homie Boy One block. Mm-hmm. And my pops is Big Mobile, so they call me Little Mobile naturally, but my gang name was Boy Deuce. You know what I mean? So when I got to Jamestown, there's a homie named Shawnee Mack from BNG and another homie named Rick Rock. They start calling me Nutty and put the boy behind it. So that's where the Nutty Boy come from. Because they thought I was so crazy. But when we got there was a dude from Nilo Crip, East Coast. It was a couple of LA Crips I got into with the homies from Stack. And I was only there 4 days. And this is like the first time I go to the hole. So they had a little get down area where you could squabble by the commissary, you get your canteen. So the homies from Meadowview, he was beating these dudes up every day in the little blind area, and they can't get with him. So I told them, I said, ain't no more fades. I said, man, we just go get it in. We all go fight. So the police found out that I just got there that I was trying to excite a riot. So when we got to when we got ready to go to chow, they ended up calling me, the homie Kato from Cabbage Patch, and about 2 other homies to the hole for investigation for about exciting a riot. So this is how the Crips, they had it so good at Jamestown. When we got to the hole, I'm trying to talking shit through the doors, like niggas is vicious, niggas got us in the hole, woo, 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 woo. Niggas didn't want to handle it on the yard. So when you go to the hole out there, there's they kill like 8, 9 people on the same little hole yard, right? Man, I'm thinking we going on the yard with the blood. Why they had me and my celly in the yard with the Crips? And they had them come out first. So when they come out to the yard in the hole, they handcuff. But then when they get into the cage, the police take the handcuffs off, right? So it's 4 of them already out there with their handcuffs off, and I already been talking shit on the motherfucking through the cells, through the windows, right? So well, me and the homie K Dog told him, the homie's like, you know what time it is? As I'm walking to the hole, I'm like, you already know what it is. We get to the hole, I tell the homie, I was like, bro, as soon as we take these handcuffs off, you already know what's up. He's like, I already know. So as soon as the police took off K Dog shit, he started stretching his little arm, and they took off mine. And then when the police backed away from the cage, they already knew there was going to be a riot in the hole. As soon as the dude named G Boy, he was from some crib gang in Palm Springs, and a dude C Capone from Milo, and a couple other niggas, they just rushed us. We started squabbling. Boom, 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 boom. It was us 2 against 4 of them. We squabbling, and then they start busting the block gun, but the police aiming at us. They ain't even aiming at them. So they shot me twice with the block gun, and then shot my homie Tate off from Cabbage Patch with the block gun, and then we just laid down with our face down. And then when they picked us up and brought us back in the hole, like, so they maced us and all that, you got to sit in the cages and the medical and all that. I was just talking shit, but I was in the cage. Like, yeah, these niggas thought we was going to the yard or something, woo, woo, woo. So after that, I sat in the hole for like 2 months. Then they kicked me back to the 3 yard, to the same yard. And then I had another fight. I forgot who that was with. I had another fight. And then it was like, we about to do bus loads to Centinela. And then that's when I got to Centinela. They sent me to Centinela to the 3 yard. And I did like 2 years on the 3 yard before I went to the 4 yard. But Centinela was something different, man. That's why I really had to sharpen it up, and I can do all the shit I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying?
What was the worst thing about being in prison? If you could put one thing, just one thing that was the ultimate worst thing.
Seeing all them stabbings.
Ooh, damn.
Seeing all them sticking. Like when I got to Centinela, like it was different. Like I was on the 3 yard, so I went to the 3 yard before I went to the 4 yard. But I only went to the 4 yard because I was trying to catch up with one of my homies from Fruittail named G Red. He had just left my yard on the 3 yard, and his points went up, so they shot him to the 4 yard. And after being by myself without him for a little bit, I'm going to start fucking up just to get over there. Because they going to send me over there to the 4 yard. They ain't going to send me to no other 4 yard. So I went to the chow hall one day when I was in Centinela, and there was a dude named G-Rock from Baby G-Rock from 40s out of San Diego. He had got down with my homie Duck from Skyline. And Duck was on the top tier. So in Centinela, there's top tier yard and there's bottom tier yard. They don't let both tiers come out. So if there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buildings, all the buildings that's on the top tier, they come out together. And all the buildings on the bottom tier, when it's their yard, they come out together. Well, he was by himself, and he had got into it with the Dago Rips. And they kind of got with him. I think it was ahead of Fade, but they was on him, though. I come out to early breakfast in the morning, and I get wind like, yeah, man, the little dudes from Dago, the Rips, they just trying to press the homies. I was like, who they pressed? They're like, they pressed Duck. And Duck was a rider. He was a young homie like me back then. So when I go to chow early in the morning breakfast, I tell my relative D-Rap from Swan, and I tell Crago, my boy Crago from Emerald Hills, and somebody else. I said, I'm about to go to the house. It's like, what's going on? Like, the niggas got on Duck from Skyline. And, we ain't taking no L's. And then the dude that he got down with that got with him, he worked in the kitchen in the scullery, like when you get done eating, you put your little trays in there and they clean the trays and
Mm-hmm.
shit. So he worked in that area. So there was like 4 Dago Crips came in the chat hall, all like with each other, right behind each other. And I fucked with them, but like a lot of Dago bloods back then. You know what I mean? I love my Dago hounds. So I was fucking with a lot of Dago homies. And my boy Eric B. No, I told Eric B. We sat down, we ate. I said, hey, bro, I'm about to go to the hall. He said, what's going on? I said, they rest the homies from Skyline. It's on. I got up, and he threw up a big old Crip sign to his homies when he came out the scullery, just like to let his presence. I'm like, what's up, cuz? And I was like, oh, hell no. I said that to myself, right? I said, I'm about to F him up right now. And it we were like, don't do it. So as soon as I put my trade down, but me and him used to be cool on the yard. But not this day. I put my tray down and I ran in the sculler and I just took off on it. He was surprised because he didn't even see it coming. But that's one thing about the pen and why you ain't gonna see it coming. You know what I mean? You gotta always stay alert. So I rushed him. I ain't gonna lie, got with him, beat him up, boom, 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 boom. Boom. He fighting back and everything, but he littering me. And you know, I'm already known on the yard for fighting and squapping and shit. So we go to so the police get us. We go to the hole. When we get to the hole, they put us in the cages. He's like, why you do that? Man, like, man, what's going on? I'm like, man, y'all got the homie Dust from Skyline. You already know it was going to come back. You just didn't know how it was coming. And he was just like, oh, man, we could have went into the cells and did it. I was like, nah, well, y'all did it behind the handball course. We're going to keep it on the yard. You know, so that's how my attitude was. So me and him sat in the hole for like 30 days. They shot me back to the B yard in Sinella, and they shot him the A yard. So one of his homies wanted to get down with me. That was a Samoan named KK, but he wanted to get down in the fields, and that never happened. So 2 days later, me being fresh out the hole, I had a homie that just got there from WATERFRONT PlRU named D Down. He like a Filipino, right? So now this is when the politics is jumping in now. D Down is the barber for the others, but he's a blood. You know what I mean? And he's not riding the others. You know what I mean? He's riding with the blood. So the others wanted him like, hey, if you're not going to ride with the others, you need to get that barber job up and give it to one of the Asian homies. You know what I mean? And then he told me about it, and I'm kind of like running the yard for the young homies, not the older homies, just for the younger homies. And I'm like, fuck that. You ain't got to give up that barber job. You don't want to give it up. Like, they ain't running nothing. But so there's some new Asians on the yard, and they hard though. You know what I mean? So they one of them pulled me to the side, like, "Hey, nutty boy." I'm like, "What's up?" He was like, "Hey, man, we was just trying to tell y'all respectfully, blah blah blah, this and that, that it ain't cool. You know what I mean? That one of our people have it. If he's gonna ride blood." So next thing you know, they seen when they went back together with their Asian homies. They see me politicking with. I got me a little turned up crew. I got my boy Whitey from Swans. I got my boy Lil Ed Irie from Little Africa. I got a homie from Emerald Hills, and who else? B Down Squabbles, and I got one other homie with us. So the Asians, they seen that I'm not going for them. And I'm telling the homies, we just go get off on them before yard recall. You know, when yard recall, that means go back in your building. It's about to be count time.
Okay.
One of the Asians heard me say that to the homies. So they went and told they people. And the Asians was about 10 thick right then, but they were all little. So one tried to walk up to me and say, "Hey, nutty boy, let me holler at you." So I started walking up to him. And in my head, I was like, I'm just going to get off of it and kick it off right here. And then, but he already was ready. He took off on me. You know what I mean? Little Asian dude tried to take it off on me and threw a little roundhouse kick. So I take off on him. Boom, boom, boom. The next thing you know, all the Asians started running at me. And then all the little 4 or 5 homies I had, we started squabbling up with them, beating them up and fighting and shit. So the hole was full at Sinella because they just opened the 4 yard. C yard just opened back up to a 4 yard. So there's so many people in the hole from the C yard that they had to make room for us on another unit and call that the overflow for hole until we could get to the real hole, because they were already stabbing staff on C yard, taking off on the police, stabbing each other, cleaning up house. You know what I mean? So by the time we get to the real hole, everybody from level 4 is over there. I run into my homie Mexican Rob from Fruitown, my homie Lil Peblo Steve from Peblo's. We was in Whitey. I'm running the people in the hole, and I was like, man, if I get found guilty on this, I'm gonna have like 60-something points. Nigga, I started off level 2. I'm already level 4. Then they was like, yeah, you gonna go to C yard. So when we sat in the hole for like 3 months. You got to think about, I'm in and out the hole a month, 3 months, 2 months at a time. You know what I mean? So when they kicked us out to the main line, I sat on the back on that same yard for 2 days, and then they called me to go to level 4. They're like, hey, they said my last name. They said go to your unit, pack it up. And I knew what time it was, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then everybody was like, you about to go to the 4 yard. And every day when we on the B yard, you can hear the sirens going off on the C yard because it was a sticking. It ain't really no fighting, it's a lot of sticking. And it's going off all day, all day. So now I'm going to my cell and I'm packing my stuff. I ain't gonna lie, I'm happy because I'm thinking I'm gonna run into my road dog, but I'm kind of spooked too because this is a whole different level. See, the level 4 ain't there's nothing, no level 2, 1, 3 ain't got nothing on the 4. You know what I mean? So now I'm signing up for with the riders, with the big dogs. The level 4 ain't there's nothing, no level 2, 1, 3 ain't got nothing on the 4. You know what I mean? So now I'm signing up for with the riders, with the big dogs. So I pack my shit. I get my little TV I had. My uncle came back from Lincoln Park. He was there, so I shook all the homies up, and then they pushed me over. I pushed my little stuff I had over to the C yard. And then when you walk through the gate, there was only a couple people out there because they was probably on like a little lockdown. And then they was like, where you from, homie? I was like, I'm from PlRU. They was like, oh, your homies is over here. And then all the homies was like in building 3. And it was like, I never been on the yard with this many bloods. We was so deep at Cianella when I was there, half of the bloods, we didn't even know each other that we was bloods until we had to call a meeting right before to figure out who was all homies. And when we all came to the gate, because on the gate, there's 5 buildings, but they got a little gate that goes down the middle that keeps building 1, 2, and 3 together. And then on the other side of the gate is 4 and 5. So when we all at the gate having a meeting, everybody meeting each other, it was about 70-something blood. I ain't never been on yard with that many homies at all, ever, nowhere in life. And then we all had a meeting, so everybody's in every unit. And they was doing like little cleanup houses, man. I was seeing people get stuck, like the essays, they was sticking each other so bad. I was seeing people hold each other in full Nelsons, getting stuck in the neck. Other people, they cellies down there killing them. You know what I mean? It was just sticking after sticking. They'll get you in the cell. Same people you hanging with was stabbing the shit out of you. You know what I mean? I probably seen a whole lot. Because we was always on lockdown for 4 months and not coming out ourselves for nothing unless it's showers every 3-4 days. That's it, for at least 6 months at a time. I did that for a while, but every time that there would be 3-4 stickers right there, laid out. Someone laid out, barely making it, helicopter coming in. Said Nella was just a gang of young people. It seemed like it was a YA, but except everybody had knives with it. That's how wild Nella was.
Damn.
And it was like a place where it was 110 degrees at 6, 7 in the morning walking to breakfast, it's already 100. You know what I mean? So your attitude is just fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It was terrible. I ain't gonna lie. But we made the best out of it, though.
Man, let's start wrapping it up because I want to give you a chance to promote and talk about your clothing line and your book. But before we do that, I saw on IG that you recently visited a Baltimore, Maryland youth detention center. Is that something that you do? You go around the country speaking to the youth?
Nah, my cousin, he got a documentary that's out now. Y'all go check it out, Man Child Story of Shea Cotton. He had a traveling basketball team, and him and this lady I know named Kai, that's his friend, that's a basketball coach. Shout out to Kai, too. She wanted me to talk to the team just about my life, what I went through. You know what I mean? And let some of them got, good mothers. They were less fortunate, but they want to be tough, some of them. You know what I mean? So I just told them my life story, what I went through. being shot, being the aggressor, being the bully, and where I'm at today as a married man, got a clothing line, got a little entertainment company, and that's what keep me going. And so I told them my story, and the next thing you know, a couple of the fathers and parents is like, hey, we know somebody that works here, which is my boy Malcolm, and he said, I need you to talk to the kids in Baltimore. And then they got me after I told them my story, and you know, they rolled out the red carpet for me. So right now I got the book I'm writing called Untold Story of a Troubled Youth about CYA. That's going to be book 1. And then book 2 will be about me getting out of YA, getting shot up, and then going to prison. And then book 3 will be about me moving to Portland, Oregon after I got out of prison. And, you know, going through trials and tribulations out there for a while. And then eventually getting married, you know, having kids, and then living in Las Vegas now, you know what I mean, with a job. You know, I've been working for some years now, got married, got kids, and doing better than just hanging on the streets like I used to.
I love that. Let me end it with this, because I always like to end it on a positive note. After everything you've seen, everything you've done, everything you've went through as an active gang member back in the day, what would you say to a kid today out there who is thinking about joining a gang?
See, this is the trick. And I didn't know this till I went to prison. We all out to kill each other. Everybody's protecting their turf. But when you go to jail for that same murder, and you might think about it 10 years later, because I always ask my old studies that had life, man, I know if you had another chance, you wouldn't do it again, my nigga. You was a good nigga. And they used to be like, man. So what I would say is, when you go to prison for the killing of your enemy, you can no longer go to prison and beef with your enemy no more. You guys become allies, because now it's a race thing. We represent our hood in prison, yeah. Crips and Bloods, we do fight here and there in prison, yeah. But for the most part, it's Hispanics against the blacks, white boys against the blacks, everybody against the blacks. So we have to come together. You're going to be walking around the yard with someone that might have killed your homie, and you can't touch him because of the politics. So why is it worth gang banging, and you give your heart to it, and then boom, you're going to have to walk in the yard with people that you shot at, they shot at you, and you can't do nothing about it. And y'all going to end up talking regardless anyway, because you guys was on that yard together for so many years. So is it worth it?
Dude, thank you so much for sharing your story, and I got to have you back on. I love your vibe, and I love, you know, I feel like we just hit the tip of the iceberg with this hour interview. I just let it go on because it was great, man. Dude, I want you to give a shout out to whoever you want to, or promote whatever you want to right now. The floor is yours, man.
Shout out to my brothers, Raleigh out in Portland, Oregon. Shout out to my boy Famous out in Wilmington, California. Rest in peace to my brother Betos out in Portland, Oregon. We started this That clothing line together, That entertainment together. My boy Raleigh, he's been keeping it going, keeping it lit. You know what I mean? He's the brain to this. I'm the energy to it. And my boy Fame, he's the smooth maker, man. So follow That clothing on Instagram. You know what I mean? We got some hot designs. Follow That entertainment on any rap music. And I got a book out that's not out yet. It's being written right now. So y'all probably like 2-3 months. Called Untold Story of a Troubled Youth by CYA. Be on the lookout for that. And you can follow me on Instagram, YEA_DAT_SPANK. That's all I got to say.
Man, whatever I could do to help you promote any of that, please let me know. When that book comes out, please let me know. I want to be the first ones to premiere it on my show. Real talk.